It's really hard to talk about Sabbath without talking about the concept of rest. Really, every single one of us takes kind of a mini Sabbath every day. We have to, or things will go drastically wrong with our bodies. Scientists have tried to study sleep for a very long time now to figure out, why do humans need to sleep? Why is this a part of our nature and a part of our being? There's been all kinds of different hypotheses about the size of our brain and how our brain needs to shut down and needs to store and process all the information. But one of the things that's been amazing as they've studied this is to see that the brain is as active in sleep, just in different ways, as it is when we're in waking hours. So the brain is doing something during that sleep. But regardless of all that, God could have chosen to create us without a need for sleep. He could have made us any way that he wanted to. And so the fact that God created us to sleep at least 8 hours every single day, some of you are probably laughing when I say 8 hours. Some of us need less, some of us need more. But God could have created us anyway, without the need to sleep. And yet, for some reason, God gave us this need for sleep. I think that it's almost a little bit of an analogy, a little bit of an example to us physically every single day of what we're supposed to do in God. That we are to rest in God. That when we have a relationship with God where we trust God fully, where we have faith that God is good, it's in that relationship that we can actually relax and that we can enjoy life and we can go through anything that we may face with a sense of calmness, a sense of rest, a sense of assurance. And so the same idea comes into the Sabbath, that all throughout the scriptures you see the idea of a need for rest over and over again. Nowhere it's spelled out more than in the New Testament book of the Hebrews, the letter to the Hebrews. The author of the letter regularly goes back to this concept of rest because it's so important to the Jewish people in the Sabbath, that God would be bringing a rest and completion to his work and to the work of Israel together, and that this was happening in Jesus, that there was a rest to come, and that God was enacting that plan, that rest, through the person and the work of Jesus the Messiah. So what does this mean for us as we are faced with this crisis today? Well, I think that our culture pre-COVID-19 was maybe one of the busiest and maybe one of the least restful cultures of all time. We have so many things to distract us and to keep us up late, scrolling through social media or looking through articles or playing games on our phone or games on our computer or watching YouTube videos or any other thing that we might fill our time with. The world is literally at our fingertips every single day. What this resulted in for us is that we, as a people, forgot what it means to sleep well. And you've been hearing this in the news over and over and over again in the recent years, that even Arianna Huffington, the Huffington Post founder, caught herself getting into the habit of not sleeping enough and the damage that was having to her physical body. And so as we are slowing down our pace of life, as we're spending more time with our families, as we are getting our fill of the internet throughout the day by working from home online, or if we are working still and working extra hard, if we're in one of those jobs that needs to continue to go in person even during this crisis, we remember that rest is important for us. We're even more mindful that rest is important for us. It's been one of my goals for the last year or so to try and sleep 8 hours a night and see what that does to my health and to my stress level. And I can tell you that as I track my sleep, the nights where I get 8 hours or more, I have less stress. I have less physical feeling of being sick. We all know what it means to be restful. And so a Sabbath builds into us a pattern, a habit weekly of recognizing the importance of rest, recognizing the importance of slowing down, recognizing the importance of trusting in and living into our relationship with God. Come back tomorrow and we'll continue to look more at this concept of Sabbath in our scriptures and how it relates to us today.